Welcome to the Deep Dive. We unpack sources to bring you, well, the most potent nuggets of knowledge. Today we're plunging into something essential, but maybe often overlooked: the art of conversation. Our source material today comes from excerpts from Art of Conversation, which is a really practical guide to interaction. And our mission, it's pretty straightforward. We want to give you 3 really memorable techniques, things you can use to feel more confident, more effective in any conversation, really. So think networking events, maybe an interview, meeting new folks on campus, or even just, connecting better with mentors or friends. These should help.
Absolutely. And what's key here is that these aren't just like polite suggestions. They're not just common sense tips repeated. These are actual tools, actionable things designed to genuinely change how you engage and connect. In a world just overflowing with information, these techniques can help you cut through all that noise to really understand people and maybe just as importantly, to be understood yourself.
Okay, so it's about getting past that surface level chat. Where do the sources say we should even start? How do we begin mastering that?
Well, it kicks off with mastering the follow-up question. The core idea is, well, it sounds simple, but it taps into something really fundamental, that desire we all have to be, truly seen and heard.
Right. Being interested makes you more interesting.
Exactly. When you're genuinely interested, you're not just collecting facts, you're validating their experience. And that triggers a kind of connection that goes way beyond just being polite. It's about really listening to an answer and then asking a curious question that digs one level deeper, as the source puts it.
Okay, digging deeper. That sounds powerful for making someone feel valued. But what if you're someone who struggles, thinking of those deeper questions right on the spot? Is there a way to kind of train that muscle?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not about having some pre-written list. That's not the point. Think about the example they give. Instead of asking, what are you studying?
Yeah.
And getting architecture, right. And then you just follow up with a flat, cool, where are you from? Which kind of kills the momentum.
Yeah, done that.
We all have. The great follow-up shows you actually heard them. Something like, oh, that's fascinating. What was it that got you interested in architecture specifically?
Okay.
It shows real engagement because you're following their specific lead. The muscle you're training there is fundamentally active listening.
Right. Active listening. Making them feel heard. That's key. But, if you're only asking questions, even good ones, doesn't it risk feeling a bit one-sided, like an interrogation?
Yes, that's a perfect transition. It can feel like that, which is exactly why the next technique is so important. It's called offering a freebie.
A freebie. Okay, what does that mean in conversation?
A freebie is just a small voluntary piece of information about yourself, maybe your thoughts or an experience you've had, that you offer up in response to something they said. So like if someone mentions they saw a new movie, instead of just asking, how was it? You could say, oh, nice, I've been dying to see that one. Actually, I'm a huge fan of the director's older films. How was this new one? Was it worth the hype?
Ah, I see. That part, I'm a huge fan of the director's older films.
Yeah.
That's the freebie.
Exactly. It's a small thing, maybe seems insignificant, but it's a little act of vulnerability. And crucially, it kind of leverages reciprocity. It subtly encourages them to share back or ask you something. It turns it into a proper two-way street, not just you drilling them with questions.
Okay, so it breaks that interview cycle and invites them to engage with you too. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what about those moments, and we all have them, where your mind just goes completely blank? You feel stuck, like you have absolutely nothing to say. What's the strategy for just starting a conversation from scratch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dreaded blank. That's where the final technique really shines. Using the observe and ask technique. This one's perfect when you feel like you have zero common ground or you're just trying to break the ice. It uses your immediate shared environment. So you make a simple, low-stakes observation about your surroundings, and then you immediately follow it with an open-ended question related to that observation.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. Say you're at, a campus event. You could say, wow, this is a great turnout. The music's surprisingly good, too. What brought you out to the event tonight?
Right. Simple observation, then a question.
Exactly. Or maybe you're in a new class. This lecture hall is way bigger than I expected. Have you taken a class with this professor before? It instantly creates common ground because you're talking about something you're both experiencing right then and there. Makes starting up feel much less daunting.
The observe and ask thing, honestly, that would save me so much awkwardness in my first year.
Oh.
Standing by the snacks. Man, it really does make sense. Simple, but seems pretty powerful.
It is. Very practical.
So let's wrap this up for you, the listener. What does this all mean? We've just unpacked 3 really concrete techniques: mastering the follow-up question,
Offering that freebie to create balance.
and using the observe and ask technique to get started. Together, they're like a toolkit, right, for building confidence in pretty much any conversation.
Mm-hmm. And connecting this back to the bigger picture, these aren't just social pleasantries. These are genuinely invaluable skills for your whole journey, whether you're in complex academic talks, building those crucial professional networks, or honestly just making new friends and understanding different viewpoints. These techniques help you foster real, meaningful connections.
So here's a final thought for you to consider. Think about your next interaction. Maybe it's a study group, could be a networking thing, or even just a casual chat with someone new. How might applying just one of these simple but actually quite impactful techniques, how might that change that conversation for you?